right, welcome back everybody. We're going to do some Joe Walsh today. This is Life's Been Good by Joe Walsh, and probably his best known song ever, and for good reason. This thing is so fun and just a great tune. So I'll break it all down, talk about the tone that he's getting on guitar. We'll break down the rhythm guitar section and the great guitar lead too. So if this is the kind of thing that you like and you haven't done so yet, I invite you to jump right down and click subscribe and ring the bell. Bell lets you know when I drop new content. I do that every single week. All my videos have chapters in them, so you can jump right to the part of the lesson that you want to see and bypass what you don't. And if you're looking for other ways to support the channel, I appreciate that. There's thanks, just like throwing a tip in the tip jar. Or even better, you can join my Patreon page where I've got chord charts and tabs for all the lessons I do on YouTube, just like this one. Links in the description, so check it out. Okay, so Life's Been Good for Joe Walsh. By the way, it's scorching hot where I am here in Middle Tennessee, and so I've got a fan on. I hope it doesn't mess with the sound too much, and if it's blowing my hair a little bit, it's not because I'm trying to look like a rock star. I'm frying is what it is. So all right, Life's Been Good. So this is standard tuning, and don't know exactly. I've read different things of what he's using on guitar. There's several guitars actually on the record. I've heard that he used an Esquire or a Tele, or sort of for the main part. Anyway, there's two double-tracked, what sounds like a Tele on a bridge pickup or an Esquire bridge pickup to me, that plays the intro part and runs sort of throughout. So those are left and right panned, sort of double-tracked, I guess, if you will. Parts. Then there's some other complementary guitar that runs in electric as well. I'm going to sort of take you through this as if you've got one guitar in your band and you just sort of want to hold down most of the parts, you know, on a single guitar. So this will break a little bit from my like just like the record kind of thing, because there's so much on here. So but I will definitely get all the main parts for you on here. Okay, so I've got my Tele, bridge pickup turned up. All the details of my signal chain is going to be in the description below. And I'm running out of a 10-inch speaker on my Fender Super Champ. Sounds like he might have even used a champ or a vibro champ or something like that. But anyway, small speaker, that's what it sounds like to me. Okay, so taking you through the intro riff. So yeah, we're just gonna walk around. I mean, the song is basically bouncing between an A chord and a D chord. And it's just a jam between those two. So the riff is just down here. And sort of little variations between the two. But let me just take you through it slowly. I started on the 2nd fret, and that's that little quarter or half bend or whatever. You're just doing that and pulling it off. And you're sliding up to the 4th and then catching your A on the 3rd string there. In the second part, you'll probably see that I'll vary it as I'm going through here, but as I hear it, it just sounds like. I think that last one is a little bend from the 3rd fret. But it might be. You could slide it up to the 4th, but that's where you're going for. And then sting it twice there. And then you end on that D. And every time you hit that D, I love hitting that open A with it. Right? So that's really the intro riff. You're basically just going around that little A chord and, you know, working it up to the D. All right, one more time slowly. Then the full band sort of comes in on that, and here's where like there's multiple guitars going on and a lot of different things. So you know, there's a slide guitar that's on here that's tuned to open G, I believe, you know, and it's doing this. Right, that whole thing, as the other guitars are. Right, so I got to figure out a way to sort of mix the two, and what I usually do when I'm playing this live is something like this. I sort of just grab I use the fourth and the third strings, and I'm catching that open A. It's almost like it's slide. Right here on straight across on 7. So again, I'm just playing this fourth, third, and second string. Right, but no slide. I'm not sort of alternating between having a slide on my finger. I know Joe does it. He does it his way, and he does it different ways live over the years, but I've seen him do. He does that, slides up there, but just easier for me to get a little stronger hit on that, and either way, that way. So that's my strategy. Go around again and do that. And then it goes to the sort of second part of the song, and this is where it's actually an acoustic that's playing it, right? And it's this, that part, right? So lots of different ways to play this. I think most people play it as triads on the first, second, and third strings, and the chords are just F, C, F, all right? That's an F triad. That's a C triad. And you're moving down to the first position, F triad, right? And the second half of it is A minor, G, A minor. A minor, G, A minor. F. And you end it pulling off like that. So if you really want to be pro about it, if you can catch all these low notes, let that A note ring. Risky though. You hit that F, you got to jump up here real quick. So a lot of times just let the bass player do it, or if you've got another guitar, do that part. Here's another way you can play those triads, by the way. So we did those on strings 1 through 3. Oh, by the way, and if you catch the fourth string on that, that's fine too. But if you want to play it another way, again, I'm sort of doing the same thing that I did here. But I'm just finding the triads at a different spot up here. Now, instead of strings 1 through 3, I'm doing them on strings 2 through 4. Same as, whoops. Obviously, the tonality of the strings are different because you're using, the slightly thicker strings. But just another way to do it. I always like having a couple ways to do things just to move it, play around with my brain a little bit. And then the A minor part is, so here's your A minor. You just don't play the first string. G, A minor. Right? Just another way to do it, but I think it sounds better down here. Brighter. All right, then you go into this little reggae sort of thing, which is the verses. And this is bouncing between it's like a C and an F. Right? So it's sort of muting, palm muting with your right hand. I don't know the exact picking, but it's that sort of a pattern. You're just walking down from an F to a C. But you're just muting it. And tell me I'm great. Right, that little part. And then this is an interesting part. The second half of that, like I said, there's two guitars that are pan left and right. And here's where they really diverge on the record. So now when it moves to the part, get the lyric. Right? Everybody sing. This is that part, right? So when you go to the G, so the first guitar after this last walk down, here's what he does. Okay, now while that's going on, guitar number 2 is doing this G9 chord. Dun, 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 and then while the first guitar does it, he does. While that's going on, right? Sort of resolve on that, but that's a really cool little interplay, right? One is just doing that muted funk, and the other one's playing these James Brownish sort of chords, over that. All right, so then just bounces back and forth, goes to another verse. Runs through all of that again. Runs through Life's Been Good to Me So Far again. And then there's an instrumental, and that's where I gotta believe it's a synthesizer that's doing it, but it's doing some thing off of an A scale. Or something like that. You know the part I'm talking about, right? Totally screwing that up. But it's what's going to lead you into the guitar solo. So the guitar solo now, very tasty, just classic Joe Walsh. Him and Billy Gibbons are like the guys that play exactly the right thing, no more, no less. And there's nothing else that should be played there other than what he played there at that time. So there's a little bit of echo or a little bit of delay that's added on to it. And I'm going to add just a little DynaComp to bring this out a little more, right? So this solo section is largely, it's just bouncing between an A major pentatonic and a G major pentatonic scale. So, you know, this. And then you would slide it down 2 frets and you would get the G. You're just bouncing back and forth between those two, right? But let's just go through it riff by riff. So we start on A. So that's the first part, right? Again, that's just A major pentatonic. And then we're sliding down to G. Right? But he's just doing it in his tasty way. Now we're going to the second part. All right, so that's all just in those same A and G major pentatonic positions. Now we're going to climb all the way up to, I guess that's 21st fret, I think. 2021. I don't have a 22nd fret on my guitar here. But here's the A, very top of the A scale. I love that part, right? So. And then you're going to pull off. This is all tabbed out for my Patreon members, but just all of that's A major scale stuff. See what I mean? I mean, Joe plays what needs to be played, and that's it. So. Then we're back into our sort of intro riff. Just a slight difference on that last one. And then the chords on the outro, there's just lots of soloing and things on the outro. Those rhythm guitars are sort of playing versions of... not the same thing every single time, but it's versions of just that raw rock. Okay, so I'm not going to take you through all the little leads that are on here, but there's a couple little licks that are happening, and again, that I'll call out. And again, there's like, you know, he's got the slide guitar going on, playing a lot of these, and it's interplay between a slide guitar and a standard tune non-slide guitar that are sort of trading licks during that long outro and everything. So I'm not going to go through every little thing there, but so a couple little standouts. I think that was a slide one, but that's a cool one. And then there's that octave riff that that one plays up here, one plays down here, but the riff is. Right, and then the matching other one down here. Yeah, you know, the high one I think is the slide guitar doing that. But that's very Joe Walsh, right? That's minor. And it's just very clearly hitting that major note. It's almost like, but it's a bend. Yeah, just greatness. And then I think there's a all those, but just have fun, play major play major, and it'll just sound epic. So all right, well, that's Life's Been Good by Joe Walsh, and I hope there was something in there that was new for you. So if this is the kind of thing that you like and you haven't done so yet, appreciate it if you click subscribe and ring the bell. The bell lets you know when I drop new content. I'll do that every single week. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this one, and if there's another song you want me to take on and do something similar, let me know what that is too. But until next week, take care, everybody.